people, you can literally do whatever it is that you want to do. You can support whoever you want to support. My issue is when you pushing it in people's face like, I support Trump. What y'all gonna do about it?
Exactly. That's
the problem.
That's the, like my friend I told you about, that he was doing that. Oh, I support Trump. I just like, and I didn't understand him until I met his godfather, and I'm just like, oh, he watched Fox News. He is indoctrinated. Like he's just believing the stupidity. Because I went over there, he was like, hey, you know that Obama was a Muslim.
What that got to do with anything?
I'm just like, bro, like, what are you talking about? I hope that we get our first Muslim president, just like I hope we get our first atheist president. So y'all can shut the hell up.
She said something right there. Atheist?
I hope we get an atheist president. So y'all can shut up. There's no better leaders because every other leader been Christian.
You said a mouth. Well, Christian.
Yeah, look what they did.
Christian.
They've been Christian. Look what
they be using that Bible to justify that stuff that they be doing.
But the Bible don't even justify the stuff they're doing. Like y'all literally murdering and
it really don't
stealing and like
it really don't. Like it's crazy.
That's another reason
they'll pull it. Oh, the Bible says this. Like we're supposed to do this because the Bible says this, but you ain't doing that. Like you living a whole other life.
We wanted to make sure I pronounce people's names right. Because I'm a person that's got my name was mispronounced a whole lot growing up. So
Eldwin?
Yes.
That's how you pronounce it?
Eldwin, yes.
Why was people pronouncing that wrong?
Because they don't read. That's the easiest answer.
That's true.
Edwin, I got that a whole lot.
Ooh, well, people used to put letters in my name that was not there.
What was yours? What was the worst?
They would call me like Jaquita. Bro, you ain't see no J. You see that as how you pronounce this? Jaquita? And I'm looking like, where you see a J at?
Bro, what are y'all reading?
I just asked you that yesterday to confirm that I knew how to say it.
I feel like it's spelled exactly how it's supposed to be. Shakita. Like I got Shakithia. Wait, my uncle drunk. I know he drunk because he'd be like Shakithia.
Shakithia. That's funny.
The worst one I ever got was Eliwin when I was doing it. Like, where did you get that from?
Yeah, people don't read. It's crazy.
Or Elwin without the D in it. I'm just like, can y'all just look at it's spelled just like it's pronounced. It's like no different.
I know one other person with that name.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I have never met somebody with my name in my entire life.
Somebody that I grew up with when I was a kid.
Were they cool?
You saw I said grew up with. He was in prison most of the time.
Damn, out here messing up the elder man. Dang, man. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your man Roy T. We're here today. Welcome to another episode of the R.E.A.L Educated Analysis of Life podcast. Got my co-host with me, Boonie. How you doing?
Hey, y'all. I'm doing fine.
Another new co-host with me, William. How you doing?
I'm good. Everybody, what's going on?
Met William via TikTok, which was really dope. He hang out with Boonie and I on a couple of lives and hung with us for like 2 hours.
He hung with us.
He hung with us, for real.
Okay, we might be a little hard to follow sometimes.
Yeah, for real.
We be all over the place.
All over the place. Our lives are just our regular conversations online.
Right.
So today our subject is the Black Lives Matter movement, BLM. So what made me want to talk about this, why I made it a thing in the first place, is because I feel like of all the movements that we had, there was the civil rights movement, We had the resurgence of the civil rights movement in the 80s, you know, with what was it called? Where they were giving black people jobs. It was something that they were like supposed to. They just got rid of it too. There's a word for it in the 80s and 90s where they were giving black people jobs. You searching it right now? But when the Black Lives Matter movement came into play, there was a stark difference between the other movements that we've seen. Yeah. Affirmative action. That's what it was.
Okay.
Affirmative action, which was, you had to consider black people in jobs when we weren't being considered before. You had to look at them. And certain places had unwritten quotas to hire black people, They had unwritten, for every 5 or something like that, you had to at least hire one black person.
Right.
But when the Black Lives Matter came to be, I'm not sure the official date start, but the biggest thing that I remember when they started was the Trayvon Martin killing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I want to know y'all's opinions about the movement when you first heard about it.
I thought it was needed because of all of the killings that were happening around that time. It's like happening way too much. And our people got tired of it to a certain extent. So they did this to try to stop it. Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, it doesn't seem like it worked as well because there was even more killings happening after the fact.
Mm.
So I don't know if people just want to.
It started in 2013.
Right.
I don't know. Directly before the Trayvon.
Mm. Right. So I don't know if people just took grasp to it and took it seriously enough. Because I think if they would have, it probably would have made a bigger difference.
It could have been something substantial in the community if they but I feel like a lot of people used it. And I think that was the issue. A lot of people used it to build their platforms as activists. They used a lot of those deaths. They used the movement to build their platforms or whatever. And it kind of seemed like once they got in that position, or even, and not even just that, like when things got hard and they started to see really how activism is, like what you got to go through and stuff, a lot of people just stopped.
Yeah.
They stopped doing it. I feel like it's still around, but it's quiet. Mm-hmm. Very, very quiet. I don't think that they stopped with it or nothing like that. But when it first came around, I didn't really have a whole lot of thoughts about it, but I did notice people using it to build their platforms as activists. Whether that's right or wrong, I guess it's a per person, whatever you think or whatever. But I kind of feel like it is kind of messed up to use somebody's death or to use a platform that's supposed to help people to build your platform is a little. I wouldn't be able to trust somebody that did that.
It's wrong. Yeah, straight up. It's wrong.
What were you saying? Said they just using it for clout to get themselves
basically
make themselves look good.
That's why I feel like it didn't stick, because the intentions behind it, and I'm not talking specifically about the people that created it because I don't know a whole lot about them. I kind of feel like it was kind of like hijacked from them.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about next. Actually,
I feel like they kind of took it from them. It was hijacked. It was started by 3 women: Alicia Garza, Patrice Coolers, and Opal Tometi. I hope I'm not pronouncing those wrong, but I rarely heard anything about them. Like I feel like it was hijacked from them, and from there people just kind of tried to build their platforms on it, and I kind of feel like they made it seem negative because of it, because people was they wanted to get clout off of it. They wanted to make a name for themselves. So that made it negative. It made it insincere. And I don't think that it was necessarily the three organizers' fault.
Oh, they got some fault. We can talk about that.
I don't know, because I don't know a whole lot about it.
We gonna get into that in a second. But my first initial thought was, I love the fact that somebody created something that was so simple, right, in the Black Lives Matter phrase, and I agreed with the phrase, especially in the times that we were in, because you started seeing more stuff. Like I said, my first initial thing seeing it was the Trayvon Martin, and we start protesting, and I'm like, okay, they out there, they're doing the work that needs to be done, but everybody was falling under this banner, you know. So I'm like, okay, this is a good thing at first. That's my first initial thing. This is a good thing, you know. It's, how could it be wrong to say Black Lives Matter? In thought, it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing that people are actually taking initiative to try to go out here and protest, because getting on the ground and doing that, it is difficult. You know, protesting is not an easy thing. Getting pepper sprayed is not easy. Getting arrested is not easy. You know, just being out there holding a sign or chanting or even just being in the crowd, it's not easy. You know, so I respect anybody that does it, because I really wanted to.
Same. I don't have the body to do that.
Yeah, I really wanted to be out there a lot of times, but you know, I haven't been able to. So I've done my part apart from it. So that was my initial thoughts of it. But then after about a year, my problem started to show, which was Black Lives Matter seemed like a leaderless movement.
That's true.
And what I mean by that is, like, you think back to the civil rights movement. We had, even though there was two different sides of it, we had Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. These were real leaders. And the reason why I felt like it was important to have leaders is because these people are going to be the ones talking to the government to make the change on behalf of us. You know, we can't just all go in there and sit in the president's office together and ask for some change. We gotta unite behind somebody. But I feel like when social media came about, people were like, well, we can't coalesce behind one person. Even in the 80s, as much as we hate on Al Sharpton now, Al Sharpton was a leader back then. You know, he was the voice for us. You know, you have to coalesce behind somebody if you want to get something done. Now, we all be there to support, but we choose you to speak for us. You know?
Do you think the fact that they were women that had something to do with it, that started it? That people didn't want to back it because of that, or pick one of them, I guess you could say, to be a leader?
I think that it wasn't the fact that they were women. I think it was because some of them did speak out. You know, they were there, but I don't know that. I think it was the times, the social media times. Everybody wants to get their face out there. Everybody wants to be in the front. You know, nobody wanted to take a step back and let somebody else lead. And so it's a good thing in some ways, but it's a really bad thing when it comes to actually making change. So
that's true.
I got a question. Do y'all feel like Black Lives Matter became a leaderless movement, even though there are people that started it? Did it feel like leaderless to you? Like there was nobody that was?
Yeah, I feel like after the last civil rights movement, we didn't really have a leader. Like you said, with Al Sharpton, he was, but Black people was kind of like, we don't want him no more. Like, we want somebody else. We want somebody else to get somebody else to do it. Like, they didn't want him no more. So kind of like after that, we had people, of course, there were people that were activists, people out there doing the work or whatever, but it didn't seem like they were getting the support that they should have been getting, which is something that we talked about on earlier episodes. So I do agree. I do feel like it was a leaderless movement. I feel like it was disorganized. It wasn't organized enough to be effective. I feel like they had the right idea, but the plan. But that also makes me think, do you think that they started this knowing that it would be as big as it was, and then when they got big, it was like, oh shoot, like this is kind of bigger than us? Do you think that it got bigger than them and they didn't kind of know how to,
Yeah,
carry
because
it?
nobody could have predicted the set of events that took place after Trayvon Martin. Nobody could have predicted that the next year Mike Brown, it was just boom, 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 and all of these things are falling under your banner. So it's just like it happened fast, so nobody could have predicted it. So it got way bigger than they thought of it so fast. And the thing is we could all hashtag Black Lives Matter. So in a way, we were all part of the movement.
Right.
So it's just like you have members of the movement that are everywhere, too big
Also,
to.
people were donating, because I definitely was donating. I was donating to like grassroots. I was donating to a lot of people too, because I couldn't do none of the groundwork either. Posting whatever, signing whatever petition I had to sign,
Exactly.
all of those things.
How do
So
you
people was pouring money into it too.
What is your opinion? Do you feel like it was a leaderless movement?
I do. I think that there was no one to really stand behind it after the three women who initially started it. Like, we didn't have another voice to come out and say that it needed to be more important. Like that, there was no voice after that. Like, and I think because of that, stuff just kind of got worse to a certain extent because there was so many other deaths. Like I said, that was happening right after that. And like it
So
seemed
do
to be,
y'all think that it was a result of the movement that the deaths were happening?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if it was that. I think that it was more of the people who were committing the murders feeling like they had more authority and that they were entitled to be able to do what they did. Like, especially the man that killed Trayvon. He thought that he was an authority figure of some kind, like that he had control over him because he was a young black kid and he was in the wrong neighborhood at the wrong time. And then,
That's not a man.
of
That's
course,
a monster.
yeah,
Yeah.
he looked at the way that Trayvon was dressed and used that to say that he was a threat to him. But the boy didn't have, he had some Skittles and some iced tea. What kind of a threat was he?
Right.
Exactly. I feel like it empowered people, the white people, in a way, because they saw that it was nobody behind it that were making legitimate changes. So first off, you got the rural white people who are not exposed to black people that much, who started seeing these protesters in their area. So that white flight and that white fear gets into them, and they start getting scared. So you start seeing them approaching more people. Like, it start turning up a whole lot. 2015, 2016, partially the Black Lives Matter is to blame, and also Trumpism. This is when we started seeing people like just in your face racism, like we don't like that around here. What about white people?
Yeah.
And then we get the All Lives Matter, then the Blue Lives Matter, which Blue Lives is
Yeah,
worse.
it started
Worse
a
than All
lot.
Lives. Blue
I
Lives
wonder.
Matter is worse than All Lives to me.
Yeah. I wonder I wonder if they look at it like that. The organizers, the people that created it. I wonder, do they look at it and think that since we did this, a lot of these things have happened, so we're the cause of it in some way.
I don't feel
because
like
it did seem like things got worse when it was
Yeah, it
starting.
really did.
And I think it also had to do with like the time, like COVID, all of that stuff. Like everybody was restless, like people at home and all of that stuff. I think that exasperated it too. Because a lot was happening during that time as well, that time period as well.
Yep.
I feel like they have some blame to take, but at the same time, not knowing. But this, you have to have the sense if you want to create something like that, that you have to have a speaker. Somebody has to be out front for you, and you had to have a couple
Right.
keynote speakers. And I feel like since the movement was so big, you could have had regional leaders.
Yeah.
This is the chapter person for California. This happened. So such and such comes out and speaks. This is the chapter in Louisiana. This person speaks out. Like the Black Panthers were. There were leaders in different states, you know? It wasn't just Fred. Fred Hampton was the overall leader, but he delegated people to speak in other areas. Like we were united, but we were united in our separate areas. And I think that if you would have delegated somebody, like, you have to have a real structure though. And I don't think they had that structure in place. But you would think that as they see it getting bigger, you would create some kind of structure.
But dang. Frozen on both ends.
It did freeze on both sides.
It freeze on the thing. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, I feel like it would have been much better if they had the sense to create some kind of structure. And there was no breakdown for where these funds were getting allocated to. Sometimes
it seemed like it wasn't as well thought out as they thought it was.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It
was very disorganized. Like they didn't they started something, but they didn't. Like I feel like when you do something like that, you have to believe that it can be. You have to prepare for all of those things. For hey, this might get big, especially in the age of social media. Things blow up really quickly, so you kind of have to prepare. Even if you're a regular, normal person trying to build your platform, you have to be preparing yourself for that. You have to have the what ifs. If this happened, then this is what we're gonna do. If that happened, this is what we're gonna do. But it kind of seemed like they didn't have that. They didn't have like a plan for real.
Yeah. Even in real time, though, there were people that were speaking that were eloquent speakers that they could have delegated to have the job. And then you have to be in there talking about policy changes. What were policy changes? We were protesting in 2020, defund the police, but people, there was no real actual pros pan when it came to defund the police because people still to this day thought defund the police meant take all their money away.
Yeah.
That's not what we were saying. Like that's not what we wanted.
People, I've literally heard somebody say that recently, having a conversation, overheard the conversation. They were saying that, and I was like, in my head, because I don't like. It's some people that I'm just not about to talk to,
right,
about certain things. But
when you they put these blanket statements out. What is your opinion of defund the police? What does it mean to you? Like when you hear
I
it?
feel like it means take some of the funding that you put into law enforcement and put it in other places. Not necessarily take everything away from them, but let us get a little bit of that back. And we put it here, we put it here, we put it somewhere else. But what they mean, I don't know.
What did it mean to you when you heard of it?
At first, I thought it meant like cut back some of their authority because they were abusing their authorities to like a huge extent. They were literally pulling people over for damn near nothing just because they had the authority to do so. And then they would lie and say that they were threatened when they weren't, just so they could pull their gun out and shoot somebody. It's ridiculous.
Those buzzwords. Those buzzwords. Oh, I couldn't stand it. You laughing because Martelle coming in? It was those buzzwords that I couldn't stand
Girl,
it.
if you don't get on this podcast,
it was bothering me because they would say those buzzwords just to make people think something was happening. Stop resisting. He's got a gun.
Yeah.
Just to, but one thing the good thing that did come out of that was we got the body cams, which were a thing before, but now it's required. I think, is it nationwide? All police departments require body cams now? Or is it, I know it's in most major cities, but I don't know if it's required all around for them to have body cams.
I'm not sure.
Hi,
Welcome, Martelle.
Welcome.
What it do?
What's happening?
We in the middle of an episode right now, though. So
yeah,
so we talking about the Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter movement.
Those buzzwords that the police was using to make excuses for doing stuff. You know,
right?
For me, defund the police meant to allocate those funds elsewhere. A lot of those funds because their budgets were crazy, especially in big towns like New York, St. Louis, LA.
Even in small towns, you just see how they over here too.
It's just like you getting all this money for what? Y'all buying guns, y'all buying all of this stuff. That stuff that's not necessary for the community. If you're trying to militarize the police, we need to scale y'all back a little bit.
Yeah,
y'all need to hire therapists, mobile therapists, to come out. Because there's no way why an untrained police officer should answer to somebody having a mental health crisis.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to handle it.
Also, people in the community need to be trained to do things. Like, why is it just left up to them? We need to have in communities people who are have certain skills put in positions to help in certain situations. That's how you cut down on law enforcement involvement. Right. Like if you train people within the communities.
Yep.
Totally, I feel like we should have also focused on community policing like that. Like we should have, but also hiring people that from the community. And it's crazy to me that people in LA, I can only speak for the areas I lived in. People that lived in LA, the cops that worked there didn't live there. They lived an hour outside of there. To me, that was a showing that you didn't care about that community. You could do whatever you want to, and then go home. There was no consequences.
Not around here. We know where all y'all
as it should be. And I'm not saying to go attack the police. I'm not saying go attack the police. But if you do something stupid and you kill somebody, you got to answer for that. Because you live in the community. They're going to come up to you. Hey, you killed my brother. You killed my cousin.
They ain't going to come up to you.
You're going to learn
about the house.
Yep, they going to pull up at your crib.
Pull up real quick.
They have done it.
The last question was for you, Martelle, since we asked everybody else, was what was your opinion when you heard defund the police? What did you think it meant?
So I'm kind of like up and down about that. Like, if you defund the police, you're gonna have to have a safeguard in place, because that means we're defunding what protects us, quote unquote. And so we're gonna, of course, have to be not necessarily equipped, but knowledgeable about what's going on, like what protection, and like, I don't know, like, to be honest, I think if we well, let me not get into that, but if we do that,
get into it. I want to hear.
Decrease. Listen, look, crime should decrease, because just like how in Arizona and like all the well, here in Texas too, people, I mean, you don't want to run up on somebody because you know what I'm saying? Like, they probably got something, this carry state, so everybody's strapped. That's just kind of how it is, But it's like, I don't know. I feel like once we, I don't know. Because then you kind of like scurry back to the point to where then you got people that's that's out for that, that's trying to come in your house and rob you, that's trying to watch you and scope you out, and you know what I'm saying? Like then again, you need that. So, but you need that protection. But then again, if you as a community as a whole are equipped and knowledgeable about stuff like that, then people ain't in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's I don't know. It's something. It's something. But then again, you got what's it called? What's it called? What does that mean when they take out a bunch of where okay, so you got this area that started off as white people, and then all of a sudden, one black person move in, and then all of a sudden all the white people move,
White
and
flight.
then this location become a black. What is it?
Well, the white people move is called white flight, but when the
White
black
flight.
people,
White flight.
yeah.
It's so. I can't think of the word. I think of the word, but it's a word. Like I can't think. What is that? Like gentrification or something like that. I don't know.
Gentrification when white people move to different areas.
Gentrification
That's it.
is when white people move to areas where it's mostly black and they try to fix it.
Yeah. But like the opposite, like the flip. Yeah, like it's like, oh shoot, black people moved in. We're but that's when the houses become cheaper. The landlords become more shaky. And it's just it just becomes a bad community. Like that's because that's what they kind of push for. But in that case, don't let it be a bad community. You know what I'm saying? Like create a system to where we got neighborhood watch. Where we got people, that's equipped and knowledgeable, not scary. Walking around with gun, with equipment, and and know how to, exercise. But I don't know. That's a question to me up and down because I'm like,
that's why I feel like that goes back to I feel like it should have been more leaders that could have got that message out, because I got it when they said it, which it meant allocate the funds, but you have this broad spectrum of people that were hearing defund the police and just like
taking everything from them.
Who gonna protect us then? And then they had the whole thing. I saw a political commercial. It's like, if you believe in defund the police, the next time you're in trouble, call a crackhead. It's like that was a literal campaign ad for somebody.
I think I saw it was the guy running in Georgia.
Yeah, I'm just like
the black guy. I forgot his name.
No, it was a white guy in Georgia.
Okay.
He said, "Call a crackhead." Like, bro, what are you talking about? That's not what.
I feel like they got it wrong on purpose.
They got it wrong.
I think they misunderstood it on purpose. They wanted to make it seem like that's what they were doing, but that's not what they were saying.
But that was the thing too. It was no internal structure within like Black Lives Matter to disprove this. Like, look, this is not what it means,
right?
So everybody is spreading misinformation. You get in all these people on CNN that's saying they're Black Lives Matter leaders, but don't have a real title within the thing. You talking on the news, but you're part of the misinformation because nobody understands what you're saying. And where could we look up to see the news, like to what you're talking about? Do you have a real platform built to talk about these issues?
To me, it was just a whole lot of marching, pictures being taken with the people, family who died, and that's it.
Yeah,
I didn't really see a whole lot that they were doing.
It's a lot
that was helpful, and people. Right, a lot of people were donating to them. They had a lot of funds coming in, but like it was just a name and a couple of protests. Some people got locked up. They stopped being activists, and it was like y'all own type thing. But it did kind of seem like when they kind of got quiet, it kind of got quiet. So that makes me think conspiracy.
No, people got paid off.
Oh, definitely.
You say that.
What did you say, William?
I said that's what I think. People got paid off. People got paid to shut their mouth.
Right.
That's
Right.
that's the integrity question for me. Is you have to have a certain integrity about you if you're going to be in this movement. That no amount of money can they pay you to make you change what you on.
Because it seemed like a whole lot of fame getting off of these people's deaths and stuff, and it was sickening to me.
We talked about it on the
Like,
on the other episode about the desensitized about Ben Crump showing up to all of these things. Like he built his legal career off of that.
a lot of people built their careers off of it. It was sick.
It's sad, bro. Like you got famous because you stood with so many black families that lost their loved ones. Now I promise you, he got a big increase in business because of it.
What you talking about? Al Sharpton?
No, Ben Crump, the lawyer that spoke out for the families.
Or Jesse Jackson, whatever his name is. One of them people.
But they did the same thing back in the day, though, too.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. It's not a whole lot of people that got integrity. I hate to say this. Like, when it comes to, like, the black community, when it comes to, like, movements like that and stuff, it seems like as we keep progressing as a society, the leaders get a lot more shaky, a lot more untrustworthy, or whatever. It's just, I'm doing this for a name, I'm doing this for money, I'm doing this for whatever reason. And it's like, we can't, that's why I was saying on the last episode, you really cannot rely on them. And the ones that we can, we don't support.
Exactly.
We don't support them.
No, because they don't have enough credit. That's the thing.
Right.
That's
that's something that matters now, and I hate that. It's like you have to be famous, or you have to have this big name or whatever for people to support you or whatever. But most of the time, when people are at that stage, they're no longer. And I don't think that the black community is ever gonna get this through their heads. But whenever they get to that stage, when a lot of these issues don't touch them, they are no longer us. They are them.
Yeah.
That's wild. But yeah, that's true.
Because they forget about all of this stuff that they were talking about on their rise up.
Right.
I think
they get up there and they forget. It's like,
that's the biggest thing to me. If you want to be a real activist like this, you need to have integrity. You can't be moved by, I don't care if you throw $1 billion in my face, I'm not going to stop shouting and fighting for my people. And I'm going to tell on you for it. That's where it's going to change. You look, you got these meetings behind closed doors. I'll give you this much money if you just go sit down and be quiet.
Yep.
Big deal. Because like I say, it's cute. And it looks up. It's cute to when you struggling, you don't have the money, you poor, you don't have the money, you frustrated because you can't get the things that you want, you don't have access to sit and be like, when I get this, I'm gonna do this for my people. When I get that, I'm gonna do that for my people. But when it's time, when you actually get in that position and it's time for you to show that you're gonna do that, most 99% of them don't. Yep. Because they no longer have those issues, so they don't even relate to us no more. It's like, I don't got these problems no more, so like, I'm not gonna mess up what I got. I gotta protect what I've built. I gotta protect what I got, so I have to be careful about the things that I do. And forever they give back, they give little trinkets, and y'all be happy with it. Y'all be happy. Oh, he gives away turkeys for Thanksgiving. Y'all be satisfied.
Realize you fucked up the community. You done messed up the whole community.
And you gonna put a turkey on it?
Nah, yo, let me throw in them politicians that come around once a season to church during the campaign. I know exactly what.
They need to not be able to do that either. And I feel like that's why churches was created. Yeah. Because you got these people, you got these leaders, and like whenever it comes time to election and stuff like that, he can convince his congregation to vote whatever way he said, or look how much they did for us. Look what he did. He donated this. He did this for the church. Whatever. Y'all should vote for him. Most of the time, people are gonna believe their preacher. They're gonna follow what their preacher say do.
those churches have a responsibility when it comes to those things too,
They
because
do.
they are in this community, and you're not saying nothing when these things are going on. But it comes time to vote. Well, vote for this guy. No, you could have been affecting change in this community already. You didn't need the politician to do a lot of this, y'all. Especially these mega churches, like the ones in Houston, Joel Osteen's church. You have the ability to change stuff right now.
Right.
But what are you doing? Nothing.
Taking them people money and
Taking
living
the
good,
people money,
living,
not speaking
living
out.
lavish.
Not speaking out. Like, I remember when the hurricane hit Houston, and he said people can't come to their church as a shelter. What are y'all talking about?
Like, what? That's what a church is supposed to be there for.
Yep.
Exactly. That's what the Bible said, though. Like, what you mean? The people
You
can't
know,
come there for a shelter.
they don't really live by it.
They don't live
just,
by the Bible.
They don't.
They just throw it at people who
Yeah,
they don't, who lifestyle they don't agree with.
Mhm.
Exactly.
They don't live by it.
Not at all. Not at all. The next thing I want to talk about is the corruption. And so there's this article that came out last year that I'm going to read for the people about the Black Lives Matter. So the
Why you ain't told me about this? You ain't told me about this.
I just thought about it because I heard about it talked about before, but I need to see what's happening now. But it says Black Lives Matter executive accused of siphoning $10 million from Black Lives Matter donors. So, an executive at Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, which is the official company. So they did establish a company eventually, but still, it was no leader in the public eye. You know, is accused of siphoning more than $10 million from donors. The grassroots arm of the BLM organization said in a court filing this week. The suit is against executive Shalamaya, Shalomyah. Is that right? Am I saying it right, you think? Shalamaya Bowers?
I think you're as close as you're going to get.
The foundation itself, Bowers, and consulting firm and unnamed individuals. Bowers was hired by BLM co-founder Patrice Cullors in 2020 to help run the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, an extension of the Black Lives Matter grassroots organization. So they didn't even have this part of it until 2020, but they were established in 2013. Oh, that's crazy. Bowers denied the claims leveled in the suit, which BLM grassroots presented at a news conference last week. The accusations are harmful, divisive, and false. No, they really weren't, though. GNF originally created by Colors, an administrative organization to raise funds to provide financial support to the local level. I'm trying to get to a different part of it. Colors initially oversaw the GNF, but in May 2021, she decided she should no longer lead GNF, and that it should wind down and transition the entire organization to BLM to grassroots. In that same month, Colors notified Bowers that the formal transition plan is another part. Okay. Bowers took umbrage with this recollection of events statement. I'm trying to get to the part where it says what they stole. Mr. Bowers and GNF Leadership Council agreed to execute the transition plan set forth by Ms. Colors. The suit said, however, Mr. Bowers, who made $2,167,894 from GNF in less than 8 months, decided he wanted to keep the piggy bank that had become to him and his company. So I'm gonna leave a link to the rest of this article in there, but there was a whole lot more that happened that came out. They were buying houses with this money. They bought houses.
Bro, I donated to them.
One of the leaders
a few times.
Huh?
I say I donated to them a lot.
Yeah, so this is what our funds were going to. One of the ladies, I can't remember which one it was. I'm gonna try to see if I can find the article while I hear y'all talk about that. But her brother, she paid her brother to do security in the millions of dollars to do security for her.
Security for what?
For her and her estate. That's supposed to be the office. They're supposed to buy an office. They bought a house.
I mean, I ain't surprised. After a while, I started to kind of side eye them.
I want to know
I was
y'all's
surprised.
opinion on those misallocation of funds.
Like we was talking about earlier, like people who they don't have good intentions, like you're doing this a lot of times just to be famous or to make money off of it. It's messed up. Like it's messed up to do that, to use to play on people's sympathy, to make us believe that you care enough about a cause to create this platform to then just like take from people. And it seems like this is like a pattern. Okay. It's like a pattern when it comes to living in a society uh where uh where classism is a thing, like the rich only caring about putting money in their pockets and keeping us at a certain level. It just kind of seems like this a pattern. Like that we don't got money like that for y'all to be taking from us to be putting in your pockets.
Mm-hmm.
We trying to build good lives for ourselves too, and build comfortable lives for ourselves too. So for you to be taken from people who don't have it, put money in your pockets is messed up.
It is.
What is your opinion here in this misallocation of funds, William?
I mean, it's something that, first of all, it's something that a lot of them do. You know, they have you donating money to what is supposed to be the community and the church, and then taking it, and like y'all said, they're buying houses, cars, material stuff. Like, and then people's money to do this, and it's like it's foul. You got us thinking that you're doing it for us. You know, we giving you money for us, like for the community. You know what I'm saying? And y'all going out there and y'all buying personal stuff with it. You know, they had a TV show about it at one time. What was it? Like there was a bunch of different like black preachers.
Oh yeah,
the reality
they
show.
did. Kind of like it's like you throwing it in people's face at this point.
What was the name of that? Preachers of LA or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you throwing it in people's face at this point. Like you really can't trust nobody. That's why I say when it comes to like our community or whatever, the little people, we only can rely on ourselves for real. Yep. We have to create that unity within ourselves, because every time we pour into these people with these big platforms and stuff, the same things always happen. They always fail us. They always put themselves before the community and do whatever it is that they want to do.
Yeah, they help themselves first every time.
It's cool to have a leader, but it seems like that don't get us nowhere.
Yeah. Martelle, are you able to talk? If you are, you can answer the question too. What is your opinion of this misallocation of funds in the Black Lives Matter movement to the tune of $10 million?
All right, what'd you say?
I said, what is your opinion of the article I just read about the misallocation of funds? $10 million spent the wrong way for Black Lives, people that donated to Black Lives Matter.
Oh man, so I actually was I was kind of doing a little bit of research while you were talking too, and like that whole situation, like that sucks. It just sucks. Like why people gotta like I mean I understand people want to indulge, but like this is a whole movement we're trying to make into a whole. That's why people somewhat laugh at the whole movement, because like the people that were involved, like it was a communist lady or something like that involved.
It wasn't taking it serious.
Yeah, like it just wasn't. I don't know. And then when you said the people that were involved or whatever that were saying that they were like involved, they were just bystanders that were saying, oh, prospectors saying, oh, we're such and such, Black Lives Matter, and we're gonna throw a Mazel Tov cocktail and you know what I'm saying? Like they're
And people
doing
could
it.
say that, and people would trust it, and they would support them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah, we're doing this for Black Lives Matter. No, bro, this isn't. No, what they're doing is for Black Lives Matter. They're chilling at the crib, falling and praying. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It's just that whole situation is wild. Like, I mean, I wish people would donate to my corporation and my, you know what I'm saying, my nonprofit. But like, I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be like, oh, I do this and no, I do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you got to if you wanted
no.
to. You wanted to be what you wanted to be. You have to
Yeah.
promote it.
And that's just not the promoting. Like, I would like just like this per se. Hold on, let me just. Oh wait, oh dang, hold on, what's that? Hold on, whoa, ain't been on this in a minute. Hold on, I'm trying to flip it. Oh, there we go. Trying to flip the camera. See with this? Oh yeah, I can't really see it. Yeah, see, this is like, oh shoot, I can't see it. God dang it, this sucks. Oh, let me turn off the
You got the
background.
blurry background.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
See, this somewhat what I was doing. Was all this keychains, you know what I'm saying? 3D, you know what I'm saying? Do my 3D print stuff and all that good stuff. But like, I advertise myself. Like, people don't know that, you know what I'm saying? I do my thing. Like, I 3D print. Other than me just giving away random keychains, like, it's just you gotta build up a fan base for yourself, and then execute on it. But in the Black Lives Matter, it was already a statement. It was already a base. All someone had to do was capitalize on it, and that's exactly what they did. They capitalized on it, and they just keep. And now it's just like, shit. You know what I mean? Like you go buy a stick of gum and it says Black Lives Matter on it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's
it's
just this phrase you just stick on everything, and it's supposed to mean something.
basically, yeah, it's supposed to mean something.
That goes back to what we were saying earlier, that it was a leaderless movement, because none of that would have happened if there was real leadership and control. These people got to go behind the scenes. People don't know what the women that created it, they don't know what these people even look like that.
Right.
Because were they on
you just say you was a part of it.
Right. My opinion, before I read this other article that is even more egregious to me, my opinion is it pissed me off. Because
Me
you are
too.
taking advantage of hardworking people, or people that are poor already, but you know that we are
already poor.
We are invested in this because it affects us directly. You're capitalizing on our pain.
Manipulating us. That's manipulative, bro.
That's the only reason we donated, because we sitting there hurting for these families. Like,
and I'm telling you, they would harass you. That's why I started sighing. I'm like, bro, leave me alone. How much money do you think I got?
Exactly. You asking the wrong people for money.
Right. Ask them for money.
Exactly. But that's the thing. This just like Trump. You're getting money from these smaller people. And a lot of that time is untraceable funds. And it's legal to do that. You're crowdfunding. You're getting small donations from 1 million people. 1 million people give $1, you got $1 million. That's crazy to think about.
$2.
It keeps climbing from there. So before you know it, you got a crap load of money. And if there's no organization, there's no oversight, which I want to talk about. I want to talk about in a second how do we go about fixing it. I want to read this other article, and I'm going to leave a link to too. Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors. Patrisse Cullors is in she doing some stuff. Graffiti artist brother, $800,000 for security. The co-founder of Black Lives Matter used more than $800,000 in donations to pay her brother for security services for the charity, even though he seems mostly to work as a graffiti artist.
I was about to say a graffiti artist, a security. What he gonna do? Spray them with the thing on paint?
What is that gonna do?
Spray them in the eye with the paint?
Right.
Girl, if you don't get out of here with your brother.
Patrice Cullors, the co-founder of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, paid a company controlled by Paul Cullors $840,993 in fiscal 2020, according to the group's federal tax filing, which covered a period of July 1st, 2020 to June 20th, 2021. So this man was making way more than that. That man was living above the poverty line off of donations.
Bro, they was because especially that grassroots junk, they was getting money, and they was getting volunteers to help with a lot of stuff too, because they was trying to get me to volunteer, and I'm like, bro, the reason why I'm giving y'all money is because I'm disabled. I can't do all that stuff.
And then this is the other part of it. At the end of the year, in December 2020, Paul Cullors purchased a suburban Los Angeles home for $637,000 and $637,000, according to public records. The 3-bedroom, 2-bath bungalow sits on a quiet cul-de-sac in northern LA. There is no storefront or business headquarters for Cullors Protection Inc. The company is registered and operated at Paul Cullors' home, and it is unclear if it has any employees beside himself.
And he got that much money and just went, bro, you put that on your taxes as a person who don't got money like that, the IRS will chew you up and spit you out. They be getting away with so much.
So
you know how to use it. I ain't gonna say cheat the system, because the system is a cheat. You just learn how to work it. That's what they doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave links to these articles in the description. But this is just wild to me, the fact that you $800,000 to do security, but what are you securing, bro? Your house?
Yeah.
A check. That what he was securing.
He was securing the bag. That's what he was
securing. Them donations.
Secured a house and some cars. That's what they did.
And it's, you know what? I'm not even really mad at the buddy, because I thought, and just like everybody else, we thought that we were giving our money to some people who was really trying to do some work and who was really trying to help the community or whatever. My whole thing is, I'm tired of stuff like this happening. And not even just that, that part is bad, but bro, so many people died because of this, because of the stuff that it stirred.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't got an answer for none of that.
No, they don't.
They got paid for people dying.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
That is crazy.
You profited off of death. And I'm saying it now that I don't care if anybody in that organization watches this. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself.
Step on them.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
For taking advantage of the normal person, because these are not big companies that were donated. The majority of your funds came from people that were low income, disabled, people that are on a fixed income that could only donate $5 to you. But they felt really bad because you said that you were Black Lives Matter and you were going to help.
Feel bad because you couldn't give more. Because I definitely felt bad because I couldn't give more.
Right. What are your thoughts on that, William?
Yo, for a minute.
Well, I was talking to William first. You can go.
Oh, okay, you good. Oh no, I was just gonna say something. I'm just gonna add to it. For a minute, people were putting Black Lives Matter on TikTok, and like putting it as their cover page or whatever for clout. And I noticed it, and I'm like, cause people will put Black Lives Matter and have tie-dye videos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
in their description, in their bio and stuff like that. Yeah. Everybody with that black square, everybody was Black Lives Matter. It got annoying to me.
Yeah, like what the heck? What the heck are you doing? Like, are you pushing a message? Like, what's up? Nah, you just doing it for clout. But stop.
Yep.
Yep, that's exactly what they were doing.
Yeah. They were taking advantage of the normal everyday person.
Yep.
They always do that. That's what this
They
country
do.
is built on.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't even have money if it wasn't for us.
Did you have
But
any
we
thoughts,
keep-
William, before we transition to the next part?
So, like, I just think it's crazy that they were doing it to benefit themselves more than the movement itself. Like, they weren't really worried about what it would do in the long run. They were worried about what's going to line their pockets. They were trying to keep themselves up, like not the movement.
And I kind of feel like that was the plan from the beginning. That's what it
Yep.
seems like to me, because if it wasn't, they didn't take it serious enough for it to be something. It could have been something substantial for the community, but it just was like a name, like you said, anybody could say they were a part of it and
Mm-hmm.
get into spaces, and people would trust them and give them money and stuff like that. And that alone is scary to think
Yep.
about, that you could just create something like that and it blow up to that level and you can profit off of it for it. They're probably still profiting off of it.
And then the crazy part to me too is those ladies that started it ducked off though after
Yeah,
that.
they disappeared. That's why I said when in the beginning, like, I don't know if they were held accountable because they disappeared. I can't point none of them out to you in a crowd of people. I ain't never seen them before.
None of them. We do not know what these ladies look like, but you know what? Are you gonna be damn sure they're gonna know what they look like after this? I'm posting all their pictures on this.
No, so I heard about one lady. One lady was I guess she was like a communist. Like, she had a bad reputation or whatever for doing some bull crap. And like they was like, yo, and they let her be chairman of the Black Lives. You know what I mean? Like, they let her do, like, I don't know what. I mean, that's just what it was. People just capitalized. Like, people saw.
I think that was the plan from the beginning.
Yep.
It just like, oh, yo, just like all the businesses and stuff that hopped on it. But you don't hear them talking about it now, do you?
Mm-hmm. Nope.
It was the hot button topic of the week or the month for them. They capitalized on it just like they're gonna do. I'm still mad that Juneteenth is about to come up and they about to have Juneteenth sales. Last year it was Juneteenth ice cream at Walmart. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Wow, whatever.
I'm cool. Don't do that, man.
I feel like just let us celebrate how we want to do it. Like, we don't need y'all to put, like, people be asking for representation. We want to see signs. We want to see this, but you know what comes with signs and promotion and all that stuff? They're making money off of it.
The corporate side of America is what happens. The corporate side of America takes over, and that's when things get real bad.
And I feel like everybody just be so caught up on, like, representation. We want to see ourselves this, we want to see ourselves that. How about we do that ourselves? And for people who are already doing stuff like that, support them. Exactly. Why we still looking at the enemy to give us things to make this right?
Mm-hmm. I want y'all that know these people, like the Conscious Lees, put us on to more people like that are actually about the movement, so I can tag them below. Like, we need to get their bases up because they're doing the right thing. They just have a smaller following. Nobody wants to listen to those people who have the smaller following. You know, you got to have 10 million followers, somebody listen to you. You're like, dude, it doesn't make
people who got 10 million followers be making videos of them walking around in bad neighborhoods. And y'all be eating it up. Y'all slow in the head.
I pulled up to O Block.
Y'all be eating it up.
I pulled up to O Block.
And y'all
Like,
eat it up.
like y'all just sound like a clown to me. The next question, and I want to know if you have any questions after this too, Boonie.
Okay.
Is how do we fix this? And is there a way, like, for it to be fixed? You know, like not just the Black Lives Matter movement, but all the movements that are supposed to help us as a whole, that want the same thing, to make us matter in this society. You know, like to increase it. Is there a way to fix this? What do you think?
I really feel like when it's on a large scale, it kind of gets away from what it's supposed to be. I feel like we should be doing things within the community. We need to stop waiting for people to save us and come together within our communities locally, and eventually we connect with each other. We create these communities locally together and help each other out in certain situations, and then we connect with each other, share our resources and stuff like that. But I feel like just depending on people with these big platforms, these big companies and stuff like that to help us, it kind of seems like it keeps getting us the same results. We just keep getting left down. We just keep getting used. They using us to get wherever it is that they're trying to go, and then they disappear and we're like, we stop caring. We don't care. Nothing has been resolved. Like that from the time they started that until they disappeared, so much stuff happened, bro. They should be held accountable for that stuff. Like they shouldn't be able to just be okay with it and like live a life in their new house and their new cars and all of this stuff. They should be held accountable. I don't think that it's right. They keep getting away with stuff. We keep letting these people get away with stuff and then waiting for the next person to do it. Exactly. And there are people that are already out there who's actually doing stuff that we don't support because they're not what we want. And I think a lot of the issue too is prejudice within the Black community. We only want certain things for certain Black people. It's not for everybody. And until we get on one accord, until it's for everybody, I don't see a solution. It's just, especially when it comes to LGBT and stuff like that, you don't want to include them. You ain't gonna go nowhere without that. It's either all of us or none. Or we're always going to be getting in these situations where people are using, because we cannot even unite within ourselves. They're using that to capitalize off of it, and we keep letting it happen and like not holding them accountable. But I feel like the only way we can resolve these things within our communities is to create groups locally within our community to help each other out in the community, and then expand by sharing our resources with other smaller groups within like different cities, different states or whatever. But we know people don't be wanting to do the work. They just want to sit and wait for somebody they feel is qualified to come along and save us. And I think that is always going to be our downfall.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I feel like before you go, William, I feel like Al Sharpton said it too before. Trans rights are civil rights too. LGBTQ are civil rights. We're not free until all of us are free.
Yep.
Exactly. We got to stop putting limits on it, or it's just Black rights. No, we need to. If we put all of this under one umbrella and start fighting together, our combined strength is way more if we fight together instead of putting this division in there. They dropped the LGBTQ ball in the middle of Black people to piss them off and to stop them from worrying about what's happening with us. Somebody get shot up. What about the gay people in your community? What about the gay people in our community, though? They didn't kill us. You did.
They're using our bathrooms.
Yeah.
They're using y'all. They over there using y'all bathrooms. Y'all better go get them.
It is a big distraction, and it works every single time they do it. It works every single time that they do it. Mm-hmm. Look. They're over there cross-dressing, talking about pronouns and stuff. Hey, like,
And honestly, y'all didn't even know what pronouns was until this stuff started. Nah, pronoun. Y'all ain't even know what that was.
they knew what it was when we learned about it in school.
Forget pronouns. What's your name? Your name is a pronoun. Dummy. The same thing.
But I want to hear y'all's opinion. Whoever wants to go next, how do we fix this situation when it comes to, like, you know, Black Lives Matter leadership, like, you know, in the Black community?
So it's like she was saying, like, we need to do things within the community, like to try to get it out there. Like, more people need to do things to try to put a focus on it. Like, because I don't think it's enough of that going on. Obviously, it's not enough of it going on because there's no changes being made. Because there's nobody stepping up to say this needs to happen. There's not enough people doing that. Mm-hmm. And I think if more people did that, then we will see some changes. But people have to have enough heart to do it, enough gumption to stand up and say, I'm tired of this happening. Enough of us have to get to that point.
Y'all ain't to that point. Something y'all like. What is right? Like, did they take over y'all consciousness? If y'all ain't to that point yet, I don't know what's going on with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Martelle?
I'm about to say, yo, I ain't even gonna hold you up. I'm at that point right now, and I'm trying to be. My thing is, I'm trying to be as peaceful. Sam, I'm trying to be as peaceful. Hey, I'm trying to be as peaceful as possible with these children too. I know, I got you. But so this game plan is this: trying to be as peaceful as possible, but make a message and send a message and make it clearly enough to the point to where people can actually hear it and understand what the message is. But I mean, it's going to be time, you know, a lot of time we're going to need. But damn, what was I going to say? Yeah, so we're going to, like, it's going to be a process, but I do believe we can achieve it. We just got to come together and just let them know, like, yo, listen, white people, we love y'all too. You know, we not gonna be like, oh, okay, y'all give us the power, you know, we gonna shut y'all down. No, we gonna love y'all and embrace y'all. You know, wish y'all could have done it to us, but
it ain't really in us to even be. It ain't in us to be like they try to make it seem like we are.
We're not gonna do what y'all did to us.
We're not gonna do
it. Basically. So, but just.
Go ahead, Martelle.
I was just gonna say, just speak love 1,000 different ways. That's all it is. And one day we'll come together.
Yep.
My solution for this would be to go back regional, like we were talking about, like we did when we were Black Panthers. When we were in the Black Panthers movement. And so,
hey, Van.
And so say, let's go back to 2014. St. Louis, was it St. Louis where Trayvon Martin got killed, right? Was it St. Louis? What was the city where Trayvon Martin got killed?
Was it St. Louis? I don't even. It's bad because I don't even remember.
Right.
St. Louis was Mike Brown.
Yeah.
Trayvon Martin.
Wow, it's the iPhone. Yeah, I'll plug it up.
It's not St. But yeah, St. Louis.
Florida. Sanford, Florida.
Okay. So St. Louis, Mike Brown.
So, for example, that happens. So the Florida chapter should take care of that. Mm-hmm. That'll take care of the big problem of it being too big. Look, you're responsible for that. So all the donations get forwarded to there. I see you talking. Or you must be talking on the live. The donations get forwarded to Florida. When Mike Brown, those donations get forwarded to the St. Louis chapter and stuff like that. But we also need oversight. If you're a big company accepting donations, then we need to see in real time what you're doing with those funds. And you can easily do that nowadays. You can easily put a website up and say, we got $10 million. Okay, this is what we did with it. Even make it even better, make it interactive. We can vote on what we want, where we want these funds to go. Okay, his family needs to bury him. So let's put some of this money towards his family. They need lawyers to go fight this case in court. Let's go get enough money for these lawyers to go do stuff like that. We need to really be on top of it, though. You need to be fully transparent if you want to start another thing. I fully believe, like I said at the beginning, in the phrase Black Lives Matter. But do I support the movement?
Same.
I can't anymore because y'all have not done anything to affect real change because y'all haven't been fully transparent with y'all funds. Y'all haven't actually created bills to really present to the people. Look back at the civil rights movement. Dr. King was sitting up in there with the president. As much as you want to crap on him, he was sitting up in there. Look, this is what the policy needs to be changed. And they were actually part of the negotiations. No. We want that. Okay, we can compromise on this, but we want them schools to be desegregated. And even then, people were fighting against him. But look, you got to have somebody that the foresight that knows, look, I'm fighting for what's right all across the board. And if we can make it regional, we have chapters, LA chapter, whatever state something happens in. And then you could bring it to all the states wherever there's a Black population. And look,
you can have meetings. You can have meetings every now and then.
Exactly. Y'all could be, and then when it comes to the national level, now you have the LA chapter leader, the New York chapter leader, the Virginia chapter leader, all of them. It'll be much less people, but they're speaking for all of us. They're bringing our concerns. The South Carolina chapter people, the Mississippi chapter people. Look, now you got 40 people instead of hundreds of people yelling and screaming at each other. Look, this is what my people want. This is what my people need. Now let's talk about, now let's go to the government and say, look, y'all gonna have to make this change because we got this much money. We have an actual plan to make a change.
You already see how much money we can give. Like, look how much money do you think poor people have given to these causes over the years? We can do it. And I also kind of feel like majority don't care. Like, it's a lot of Black people that have just given up, that just really don't care. They've checked out. It's like, another Black person died. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, and keep it moving. Like, it's a lot of people that really just don't care. And like I was saying about the generations, like the older generation, they gave up.
Yeah.
Like, they've given up.
That's because sadly it's become normal for this type of things to happen.
And it's like, it's not me, so I don't care.
It's to a point where it happens so much that when it does happen again, it's just gonna be like, oh, there's another one. Like,
right. Desensitized.
This fight is never ending, and you have to have the strength to keep going. And when you get to that point where you're giving up, then it's time for you to pass the baton on to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what our generation. And I feel like
also not stand in the way, because I feel like that generation was standing in our way. It was a lot of shut up, y'all whine too much, y'all aren't tough enough, y'all too sensitive, y'all got a problem with everything, y'all entitled, and all of this stuff. Standing in the way of us getting things done. Just because you've given up don't mean that you convince us to do the same thing.
Exactly.
It's crazy to me that disconnect happened. We are more like, our generation is more like our grandparents' generation. But our parents' generation, they kind of like, they dropped the ball.
Yeah, they was like,
they got complacent real fast. It was just like, well, we got a house in the suburbs.
they got complacent in them relationships. You thought they was gonna do something else. The relationships they in is terrible.
Yo, let me chime in on that one. Yo, for real, they got comfortable with having a TV in each room, and they got their own car and their own job that they've been working at for 20, 30 years plus,
Yup.
still making only $20 an hour or less.
If that.
You know what I'm saying? They really did though. That's so true. Like that's so true. They got so steady, like so cope steady, but like us and the future generations, like we hungry. We hungry.
Yeah, we
Like,
restless because it's like nothing is fixed, and they keep telling us y'all want too much. Just get a real job. Get a real job. Go do something. Y'all always complaining. Go get a job.
We want more because y'all generation messed it up for us because y'all stopped fighting.
Right.
Y'all just gave up and got comfortable with
And not just that, standing our way. They still doing it.
They're preventing us from making the progress that we need to. Definitely.
Yeah, they standing in the way. Get out.
Our grandparents' generation was really, really fighting. And then once they got the Civil Rights Bill passed, they were just like, well, that's enough.
Yo, for real, it was colorful. Like it was so much. Like it's really like how it is now. Like it's just free spirited. You know, like hippie. They have the hippie stage. Like just
it's
I don't know. It's coming back.
How much that happened, but that 60 generation is coming back, and they hated them then, and they that's why we're getting hated on now. But we gotta persevere beyond that hate. Look, I don't care what y'all gonna say. We still gonna keep pushing forward.
I kind of feel like we don't really have a choice. It's kind of in us because, like you said, our parents just was like,
yeah. Don't say nothing.
I don't see nothing. I don't know what y'all talk about. I don't see nothing.
They literally did stuff like that. It don't got nothing to do with us.
Right.
It became people cared more about what was just happening in our house. You know, what was if it's not happening.
Individualism.
Yeah. Instead of what's best for all of us. And it's crazy how fast that changed. They gave us a pacifier, told us to shut up, and our parents' generation, which is the people that were born in the 60s and the 50s, 60s, and 70s, the people that they were born and they're just like, well, y'all fought. we got to go to work. Like, no, y'all still got to fight. The fight keeps going. We keep. This is a relay race. This is a marathon. We keep going. We keep going. That's how they
pass the baton.
Keep passing the baton on, and that's what we're gonna do to our generation of children is pass on the baton and tell them to keep fighting. But that's something that generation did not do. My parents were not out there protesting. They weren't out there.
Either.
It was just whatever happened in this house, we good. I took care of y'all.
They relied on religion.
Right.
God gonna fix it.
Right. We pray about it enough.
No, but like the just I'm just gonna sit here and do absolutely nothing and say God gonna fix it.
God gonna fix
it.
Nah, man.
I'm sorry,
we both gonna fix it.
Exactly. That's not how it works. Like, you gotta be willing to order my steps. Did y'all forget about that? Did y'all forget about that? Means that you gotta be moving for him to order your steps. You can't sit down for him to order your steps.
Dr. King and Malcolm X both believed in God. They both believed in God, but they knew that they had to put in the work themselves. Look, we believe in God, but we still fighting. We believe in God, but we still protesting.
You gotta be a tool.
You gotta
be a tool for God to order your steps.
He can't use you while you didn't there on your knees and praying. Please make this situation better, and then go outside and don't do nothing about it.
Don't do nothing.
Don't do nothing.
Like, they don't even see nothing. Like I said, that's why I cover my eyes. They be like, I don't know nothing but it.
It's crazy. A lot of the white people from that generation, the black people from that generation, feel the same way.
They act alike.
They act so much alike. Because it's just like we're the problem. We're protesting. We're the problem because businesses are getting burnt up and stuff like that. It's like, how are we the
And
problem?
it's like, what? Like, literally, the generation before y'all don't remember? Did y'all forget?
Did y'all forget about the Watts riots?
Did they wipe y'all mind or something?
They was really fighting back then. That generation that was in the from the 20s to the 50s and 60s, like they were real fighters because they were out there. It was life and death for real.
Yeah.
And they still got up every morning and protested. They would
and worked at the same time. You can do both.
Exactly, and took care of their families, but they made it to where we are a community.
Exactly.
We are
That's
together.
what's missing. That's what's missing so bad in our community.
Yeah.
You just have so many people that don't care. You have people that are ruining things, and we're like, no, let's save them. Like he just killed 2 people. He need to go somewhere and sit down.
Yeah.
Oh, he don't need to come with us. He need to go sit down. Unless he finna be a soldier, and then them same people that will do that, they won't point their guns at the people they need to point their guns at. They point their guns at people that you need to be trying to understand rather than just wanting to shoot.
They are part of the problem as much.
They gotta go.
Sorry,
they gotta go. They ain't helping. They gotta go.
You are not a real gangster or hood nigga if you tuck your gun when the police come around.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You are not a real one if you could pop the nigga in your hood, but you afraid to go do it to the police.
Yep.
Like it's clown stuff to me because y'all have the ability to really fight back. And all these neighborhoods and stuff where this stuff happening, like in New Orleans, like y'all can tell me there ain't no enough New Orleans gangsters when what's his name got killed out there. Y'all could have really shut some stuff down. Y'all gonna go to jail anyway for the stupid stuff you doing.
Right.
You willing to go to jail for that?
Everybody got young. They young. What they call them? The young niggas. The young boy.
Right.
Yeah.
First of all, y'all are ruining y'all are literally ruining these little kids' lives. And who y'all think y'all are that people supposed to die for y'all? Right. Or kill for y'all and then get locked up? Who are y'all? Y'all aren't doing anything except sucking up money and resources.
Ain't nothing on nobody.
Like y'all not doing nothing. But y'all think that y'all are important enough for people to die for y'all, put their lives on the line, go to jail for y'all? No.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. I'm the money man, protect the money man. For what? What that nigga doing for me in the community?
A lot of them money men ain't even giving money to them to they niggas. Like they're not.
Yeah, exactly.
So protect you for what? So you can put more money in your pocket?
Right.
No, homie.
You're a parasite. That's what you are.
What happened to distribution of wealth? That's what BMF was doing. That's why it lasted so long. It was just like, look.
It's the individualism, every man for himself. I don't mess with them niggas. What they say, the new thing is they masturbate. They don't F with niggas, they masturbate. That's the new bar that y'all overusing again. It's annoying, like it's so annoying.
Did you have any topics that you wanted to, any questions that you wanted to ask for this?
No, I feel like you covered everything.
I told you I asked some stuff.
I feel like you covered. You came out guns blazing.
You was on top of it tonight.
Right.
Before we get out of here, anybody have any final thoughts of Black Lives Matter?
The only thing I gotta say is what I've been saying. We need to get it together. And I'm not talking about let's elect somebody to do this. Like we really need to rebuild our ecosystem because that's what's missing in our communities. In every city where Black people live, there should be an ecosystem. There should be a community of people working together to make sure that we are good. Not to just gather and party, get drunk, whatever y'all want to do. We really need to be doing stuff. Like fun is cool. Y'all can have fun. That's cool. But we also got a responsibility. to keep this thing moving. And it's like we can't get enough of y'all to care enough to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I got.
Yeah, same. That's exactly where I'm at.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Trust me, one of these days, or at least in my community.
Hey, that's how I feel too. That's how I feel.
That's where it starts, though. That's where it starts.
Even though we don't have people, we just got to keep having these conversations. We just got to keep figuring out ways to help each other in the communities and stuff like that, and do as much as we can until we're able to do more, until we're able to get more people to join.
Shut up, honey.
Instead of waiting for everybody to get on one accord, we definitely should go ahead and put these plans into play.
Mm-hmm. Like Juneteenth, we ain't going to work. Ain't going to work on Juneteenth. I'm actually, look, I ain't gonna hold you up. I'm calling in on Juneteenth, but I'm serious, and I low key, like, I went around asking people. I was trying to really not to like cause a fuss, but like I was like, so you coming to work Monday? I was like, yeah, we coming to work Monday. Oh yeah, man, they gonna have food. They gonna have look, they got a food truck come. Yeah, man, they gonna be celebrating and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's all it takes.
Yep. and I'm and look, in my head, I'm like, I'm calling in sick. I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna take and I'm actually like high on points and everything. Well, not high on points. Like, I probably could get fired, but you know what? I ain't coming in on Monday. I'm tired. We got all our supervisors done quit. We had our plant manager quit. He just recently quit. The strategic manager quit. The other manager, he quit. The other two leads, they got fired, and one other one quit. And then the one other lead, pray for my bro, dog. He just got shot. Got shot. So we ain't got no leaders in the building. We got all workers.
That just like where my brother to work at.
That's wild.
And it's bad. It's bad. And the dude's a good dude too. Like, he just was drunk, was talking mess, aka Texas. Some people drew up on him, and bam, couple times, shot him in the face and in the chest. But yeah, in the car. And he wrecked his car. So imagine like that was like some like a movie scene, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't know what happened, but I just imagine it in my head. Like, I imagine him talking mess or whatever, and then getting in the car, and then niggas was like, okay.
Do these people happen to be black?
Yeah, most likely. Most likely. I was like, hey, we in Texas though, you know what I'm saying? It's either black or Mexican, you know what I'm saying? We don't really see the white people. The white people, they stay up there, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I mean though. Like, why you shoot somebody just for talking junk and you know he drunk?
Exactly.
Why do you not have the discernment to be like, you know what, I'm gonna let him slide because he ain't even
all you gotta do is like, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
This nigga, look, this nigga, look, I'm gonna say it just like this. This nigga probably made him feel bad because he been making over 50K for at least the last 15, 20 years. On top of, like, just got a big promotion, on top of, like, been making a lot of money. Like,
so it was somebody else that worked with y'all or somebody else?
So this is our so he started off as a worker, but he, like, because everybody kept quitting, he, like, quickly got into management, and he was like third down to, like, plant manager. So he was up there, you know what I'm saying? And, like, shoot. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3 is gone.
A nigga moment, huh?
Yeah. So
exactly.
Like, yo, I mean,
bring back the Boondocks.
And I'm like, yo, so y'all want us to come to work on Monday? Oh, no. On top of all that, yo, we've been working straight tens. Like, we've been working straight tens.
Bro,
like,
do you work with my brothers? Because I swear, this sounds the same thing they going through.
bruh, it's treacherous. Look,
That's
and it's hot. It's hot. They look. They putting in AC. So that means first of all, we gotta drive around all these people up on the ceiling and stuff. Like freaking fiberglass is dropping from the ceiling. Like, oh man, it's harsh work conditions, but and they expect us to still perform. And I'm like, bruh, I'm gonna do what I do.
You deserve that day, then. I would take off
Yep,
too.
exactly.
That's part of the problem too, though, is us not moving as a unit. We gotta stop the individualism.
Yeah.
And look, stop being afraid to step out. Look, I really truly believe they can't kill all of us. They can't fire all of you.
Yeah.
They are really afraid. But if one person goes and everybody else, you're gonna be the oddball out and you're gonna get fired, you're gonna get killed. But if we all step out together, this is when change really happens. Is when we move as a unit. We all say we not gonna go here. We all decide that we not gonna patronize a business. We all decide that we're leaving work this day. Imagine the changes we will have.
So I'll be hopping on them trains together.
So check it. Funny thing is, last year, because I've been at this job for like 4 or 5 years. So like last year they did the same thing, but a whole bunch of people called in. Like 60-70% of the plant called in. And so what they did was the people that showed up, they gave us a floating holiday hour. They gave us a day. They gave us a day. I'm like, bro, not again. I'd rather take the day off. Ain't got time for that. I'm straight. I actually decided like 2 days ago, because I was debating, like, because we got a lot of work. Like we do shipping and receiving. And so like we got a lot of stuff that we gotta push. And it's like, yo, this shit ain't going nowhere. Like this shit ain't going nowhere, man. This shit, I ain't putting this shit out today. Because if I don't ship it out, that shit ain't going out. Yesterday, couple packages didn't get shipped because I didn't ship them, and I forgot. So shit.
I forget.
Shit. Oh. But yeah, I'm done talking about this work. Hold on one second.
But this has been another episode of the Raw Educated Analysis of Life podcast. I want to thank y'all for joining me. This has been another great episode. If y'all are listening to this on YouTube, I want y'all to drop a like, comment, make sure you subscribe. That subscribe button is right down there. Make sure you enable notifications. If you're listening to this on Amazon or Spotify, drop a like, help us climb up in the rankings so we can make a little bit of money, just a little bit of something, for giving y'all this good content. And we appreciate each and every one of y'all watching, and I love y'all. And it's been real. Peace.
Bye.
Peace out, everybody.